We have a tough conversation that we need to go into today. I'm gonna need you guys to set your mind for this disclaimer and for this information that I'm about to spew over to you. Because I was thinking about this at the barbershop, and it's an uncomfortable truth. It's one of the things that nobody wants to talk about, but it's true when it comes to the dynamics between men and women. But in today's world, you get punished for it. And I'm not here to say that it's right, and I'm not here to say that it's wrong. I'm just giving you guys a thought experiment just to think about. So the disclaimer is I'm not telling anybody to mess with younger women, especially under 18 and especially under 16. That is completely against the law. You will get in trouble. Most definitely. I just come to this with this video just to give you guys a different perspective because it's an uncomfortable truth and I just want to talk about it because nobody wants to talk about it, but people are suffering from this consent issue. So before we get too far into the video, I just want to remind you guys, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, like the video. If you guys want to support the channel, all the ways you can support are in the description below. I'm going to give you guys a quick second to do all those things before we get heavy into it. This is the conversation that nobody wants to talk about. It all started in the barbershop. Me and my barber were going back and forth. We're talking about certain issues. And we bring up Karl Malone. Now, allegedly, he had slept with a 13-year-old. I don't know what age he was, but he was definitely over 18 at some point. But it just made me think about this for a second. Because I don't know if you guys understand this or not. I don't know if you guys have been in the shadows, if you guys have been living under a rock, but women love older men. They love them. And I'm not saying every woman loves them, but we all know that one story where the junior or the senior is dating the freshman in high school, or they slept together. We all know those stories in college where the seniors prey on the little freshman girls and the freshman girls are excited to be with them because, you know, in their head, it kind of gives them a little bit of status. It boosts their ego, it boosts their validation. So they think they're the stuff when an older guy with the stuff together or with the most status gives them attention. And plus, it's natural because women like older guys because older guys are more established, more money, have their shit together, more likely more mature than her. So you have all these things going on. So, but we have issues in our society when it comes to consent. If you look at the Bible days, a lot of those people didn't live very long lives. So they got married pretty early, like in their teenage years, let's say anywhere between 15 to 18, maybe even earlier. Hell, I think there were stories about one of the explorers going on the Manifest Destiny, getting, I think her name is Pocahontas, and she was young, super young. And then you have issues with family members giving their daughters away, such as an R. Kelly situation, where you have parents that ain't shit that will literally give their women, their daughters away to older guys that are more successful just so everyone can benefit from it. You guys see the conundrum that we are in our society? So what does consent really mean? because it's like they're talking about it. And Jordan Peterson had a wonderful video where he talked about this, and it was completely in depth about, consent and how far our society has struggled with it so far, because because of certain dynamics going on in our society, we're having to rethink and have conversations as human beings that we've never had before in our thousands of years of being on this planet. So because people are talking about consent as if you're socially impaired, like a drunk person, or like a disabled person that literally doesn't have the consent, the mental capacity in the moment to have the to consent to these sexual acts. Because if the man or whoever, it can be a woman too, if they force themselves onto a younger person against their will, that is a felony, and they need to be put behind bars, for sure. For sure. I'm not going to go back and forth on anybody about that, but still, see, you know what right and wrong is as a teenager. As a teenager, you're very smart. You're intelligent. I wouldn't say intelligent, but you know right from wrong. At 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, like at 13 and 14, you for sure know what right and wrong is. You know what you're doing. You might not know like the implications of what's happening, but you know what you like and what you don't like, what you're into, what you don't know. Like if you guys knew what teenage women did, all the stories behind the closed doors of what women did that didn't get, aired out in the public, you would be amazed at what happens. And so I got another question to mind fuck you. So girls just want to have fun, right? This is their time in history where women can be free, sexually liberated, have fun, smoke weed, get drunk. And so they say women get drunk and these things happen to them, right? Which is messed up. But here's devil's advocate points of view when it comes to that. They say a drunk person is the most smartest person. I wouldn't say the most smartest person. Let me take that back. Rewind that, scratch that. They say that a drunk person is amongst the most honest people walking the planet. They say children and drunk people tell you the truth. So if a woman is getting drunk and she wants to have fun, or she wants to have a one-night stand, well, doesn't that mean that that's honestly how she wanted her night to end? If she was drunk, and drunk people are honest in their actions and in what they say, isn't that what she wanted to do? You guys get what I'm saying? I'm not telling you guys to do this, so do not hit me in the comments with that. I'm just offering you guys to think about this for a second, because this is how stupid, this is how far this consent thing and how confusing it is to understand. Because you literally have women today in this society where they did something that when they were younger, and they did it without thinking about the precautions. They didn't really, think about, let's just say they enjoyed it, for lack of a better phrase, right? Now they get 30, 40, 50 years old and they're like, hey, this person did this and I was under the age limit. Like, you see how goofy all this is? What is consent? Can somebody define it? Because whether women want to admit this or not, this consent thing is pushing men and women away from each other. It's pushing us away from each other because men are confused. You know, women say they want guys that lead the conversation, that lead the sexual act, lead to the sexual act. You know, you know what you're doing in the bedroom, but at the same time, she can wheel all that back because she felt uncomfortable during the specific phase. You know, you guys are literally in the middle of sex, in the heat of the moment, and then it's confusing, and it's a headache. It's a headache. So you guys are gonna have to be ultra careful when it comes to these women, and this just shows the idiocracy of our society and the Western woman. Like, just say what it is. If you don't want it from the beginning, don't put yourself in the predicament for it to get done. Don't even play like that. See, things were much easier back in the day where you couldn't have sex until you got married. You know, the invention of birth control really opened the gateways to free love, hippie love, free sex, all this stuff. Because now you can get pregnant. I mean, now you can have sex without the fear of getting pregnant. Crazy. So that's just my thoughts. You guys can take it or leave it. You guys can disagree. But nevertheless, you guys like, comment, subscribe, share your thoughts in the comment section, share the video. If you guys want to support the channel, all the ways you can support in the description below. I appreciate you guys watching to the end. You guys have a good day, good week. We'll see you guys on the next one, man. Peace.